Game of Thrones contains mysterious patterns and symbols that can be traced back to one of the most fascinating symbols from ancient art and mathematics, the Greek letter phi, which represents the golden ratio. The symbols on Game of Thrones show up in two forms, phi itself and the golden spiral, a shape which adheres to the golden ratio. The specific placement of these symbols has important narrative and thematic significance, revealing a hidden link between two of the show's main characters, Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow, and seemingly foreshadows their ultimate fates. The first symbol appears in the initial episode, when Will the Ranger spies wildling body parts displayed by the White Walkers in an unusual pattern, a circle with a line running through it. Then, again on Jon Snow's journey north of the Wall, we see him come upon another symbol, dead horses arranged in a spiral pattern. In Season 6, we encounter the same unusual spiral pattern in Bran's vision, where the pattern's origins are revealed as ancient symbols created by the Children of the Forest. The show's creators have said that the symbols are related to the interconnection of good and evil.
There are ancient symbols of the Children of the Forest used in their rituals, and the Children of the Forest created the White Walkers.
The Night King was sort of the embodiment of absolute evil. What you're watching is the creation of this absolute evil. So the absolute evil isn't absolute after all.
They appear to be expressing this theme by drawing on real-world symbols with exceptional mathematical properties of symmetry and balance, the Greek letter phi and the related golden spiral. Phi signifies the irrational number 1.618 and is the basis for the golden ratio. It's the magic ratio, where the proportion between the whole and the largest part is the same as the ratio between the larger and smaller parts, and that ratio is equal to phi. It's sometimes called the golden mean, the golden section, and the divine proportion. As confusing as the math sounds, shapes based on this ratio are considered beautiful to the eye. Phi has achieved almost mystical importance because of its ubiquity in our lives. We see it in mathematics, geometry, art, life, and nature. Renaissance artists in the 1500s, like Leonardo da Vinci, regularly used the golden mean in their work. Plants, animals, and even human beings possess dimensional properties adhering to the ratio of phi. Symbolically, as expressed by Aristotle, the golden mean represents the idea that the ultimate beauty of life is achieved through ideal balance. It's the middle point between deficiency and excess. Apart from the White Walkers and the Children of the Forest, the symbols primarily show up in association with Daenerys and Jon Snow. While the other Starks seem to have some interaction with the patterns, it's Daenerys and Jon that are shown in the center of them. The multiple instances of this deliberate placement suggest this is more than just coincidence. Also consider the dragon pin Daenerys wears, her necklace, and the spiral shape within her flag. These visual connections imply Daenerys and Jon Snow's link to the symbols and to each other. We know they're related by blood, but their centrality within the symbols could suggest they're ancestrally tied to the White Walkers, specifically the Night King or the Children of the Forest, or both. They seem to have some supernatural powers. Like the Night King, Daenerys can walk through fire unscorched, and she's the mother of dragons. Jon Snow's direwolf ghost and his resurrection also suggest supernatural forces at play. The real-world historical significance behind these symbols communicates a deep thematic message that opposites, like good and evil, or ice and fire, winter and summer, revenge and forgiveness, must coexist in balance in order for there to be harmony. This could be why Daenerys and Jon are linked to the golden mean and phi symbols. They represent the merging of ice and fire, just as the title intimates. The recurring symbols and scenes with Daenerys and Jon Snow seem prophetic. They're destined in some way to bring balance and restore order in the Game of Thrones world. This union is foreshadowed in Daenerys' vision in the House of the Undying. Here, the Iron Throne is transported to the north. Daenerys walks past the throne as snow falls, which could symbolize Jon Snow or another figure from the north. Daenerys walks past the heptagram, the seven-pointed figure commonly associated with the Seven Kingdoms, King's Landing, and the Holy Sept, which distinctly doesn't possess the harmonious properties of phi, as if rejecting the Seven Kingdoms and its traditional divisions. Dany almost touches the throne, but turns away, pulled by the cries of her family as she passes through the wall in the north. Suddenly, the fiery mother of dragons is linked to coldness and ice. Maybe even the White Walkers, as this scene visually associates Dany with the Night King, alluding to a familial tie between Daenerys, Jon Snow, and the people of the North. The vision foretells a coming together of Daenerys and Jon in the North, ultimately ending the fight for the throne. Game of Thrones sends the message that pure good and pure evil are an illusion. Rather, different shades and varying degrees of good and evil coexist. To achieve the golden mean, these opposing forces must share the world together in balance to create a harmony of ice and fire.